now request Shri Lokesh Lohiya ji to address the audience.
So I come from basically Cisco. It's an IT company. It's a technology solutions provider, a global leader. And we are very active in providing solutions for creating smart cities across the globe. There are many cities which are currently getting modernized in the sense how technology basically is helping to make cities smart, right? And one most important component for a smart city is to create a safe and secure city as well. Cisco in India has driven this initiative for almost more than 3 years now in India. We have traveled all across the country finding what are the challenges to create a safe and secure city. And basically what I'm going to talk about is how technology helps to help the government, the police team and the other security responders to create a safe city. Right? So in this presentation there are some slides which I'll be talking about from a solution perspective that probably helps the city security officials to enhance public safety. So this is a vision that has been created, and if I see today in India, this is what every government is following, to create a safe city, right? And this is not our slide. It's basically a slide which has been globally followed, where to create a safe city, it's very important that we connect all the important criteria or the parameters that that become a part of the city. Now, this could be the important locations. This could be the important stakeholders, which could be like police, fire, ambulance, and so on. It covers areas which are sensitive. It could be transportations like airports or railways. It could be holy places, and so on. So all that where people or public safety is a concern needs to be connected. Apart from that, there are private players like hospitals, like hotels, and so on, schools and so on, which also needs to be connected, right? So what we are trying to do is how technology can help to connect all these various entities which becomes a part of the city to create safety and security. And there is a physical thing which happens in terms of the manpower, which are the police team and the responders, but technology basically helps, provides the tools. We are hearing a lot about city surveillance projects which is going across the country. There are many projects which has already been done. Many are there in the pipeline. But it's becoming a national drive today. Probably I travel all across the country and I see there's a huge requirement for city surveillance. So that's what we are doing. We are now started connecting physical things as well. Right? Probably going forward, your home devices like refrigerator or microwave, all that will be connected to internet as well. So that's where the Internet of Things is moving, and it's helping a lot from a safety and security perspective also. Now let me show you a small animation, and this will probably explain how the entire thing work from a city surveillance or a urban safety and security project, right? So what happens first is, there are edge devices, and these edge devices could be as simple as a camera. This could be a sensor. Now this edge devices have become smart because of the technology intervention that has happened. And this edge devices, in case if it's a camera for example, earlier this camera used to take a picture and send it back to a control room where physically somebody has to monitor it. No intelligence in the scene. But now, this camera actually can see, not only monitor a picture or a view, but it can also detect incident on its own. Much more than that, it can send information back to a control room about the information of the incident that has happened. For example, it can detect whether there is a fire, it can detect whether there is a loitering happening, it can detect whether there is a traffic accident or something like that. And it can send all these details back to the control room. So the control room operators, who are probably not skilled on technology but more skilled from a security perspective, also understand that this is the incident that has happened with the complete information. What it also does basically is after the assessment of the incident has happened, it actually pushes it on a screen. So, few examples, like in Delhi, there are thousands of cameras. There's a project going envisaged for Mumbai where there are going to be 6,000 cameras. Now imagine if there are so many cameras going to be in a city, how you're going to monitor all those cameras. So probably an intelligent solution where this incident can be detected and it can be portrayed on a video wall or on a screen. So I don't need to see all those 6,000 cameras at one time. Right? I can just see the incident-based video feeds. So that's what the system does. It pushes that video back to the screen so that the operator knows it at a real time. What more the solution also does is that you can send these video feeds actually for public messaging. So a lot of cities are going for variable messaging screens, digital signage screens and so on. And this is probably giving information on traffic or some government messages that they want to push on. The same screen probably can be used for public messaging in case of safety and security. So I can say that probably there's a incident that has happened in so and so location, or there's a fire in a building and so on. So the system is completely compatible to do that. What more the system does? Now the most critical part of safety and security is the response. If I see, and I come from Mumbai, so I see most of the incident that has happened, right, and especially the incident that happened in the Taj Hotel and the neighboring areas. The weak part was probably the response, right? We had a good response team there. There was army which was waiting for some instructions outside. There was police team who were not sure about the what's exactly happening inside the building and so on. The response was very weak, and probably a lot of mishaps could have been avoided if the response was good, right? So what this solution does is, this solution creates a response mechanism as well. And when I say response, is that the most important part of the response is the communication. Now what happens is that a police, for example, uses a device called as a walkie-talkie or a push-to-talk kind of a device, which works on a certain frequency or a channel, which will not talk to your normal mobile phone. In case of incident, this is where the communication gap arises, because police cannot talk to fire, they cannot talk to ambulance, they cannot talk to the decision makers who are probably sitting somewhere else, and no response happens on a real-time event. This solution, basically what it does, which is an architecture for any city surveillance today, is that at the time of incident, it can integrate all these communication devices. Now this could be audio devices, this could be video devices, it doesn't matter, right? What it also does is, it creates virtual groups. And when I say virtual group, in the sense that probably if an incident has happened in a city, and which is basically could be an attack, the key decision makers or the key responders for that can form one single group. Similarly, for example, there could be fire in a building, a prestigious building in a city. There's a separate team or a different kind of responders that are required. They can form another group. So all that, multiple groups can be formed, and on a press of a button, all that team can be connected so that they can start sharing information and start taking action at real time. So that's where the solution helps. So it's a pretty holistic solution, in the sense it's just not about monitoring or detection. It talks also about assessment and response, which is something which is probably missing in the current security architecture. So this is what it does. It sends this alerts to various communication devices. It patches all the different stakeholders of security, brings it on a common platform. Now this is the design basis, and this was designed by, we did a lot of proof of concept across the country. Actually we have completed one project in Navi Mumbai. This is probably the first smart city surveillance project of India. And based on the various demos and proof of concept that we have done across the country, this is the design basis that we have created, which talks about having a command and control center where all your video feeds or all your alert management happens, right? You'll have a lot of cameras and sensors as well, and these are all smart cameras and smart sensors which can be deployed all across the city. You will have a network. Now this is the most critical component, because most of such projects fail because they are not connected. I can give you an example of at least 3 or 4 cities which had got such solution probably 4 or 5 years back, which was deployed, but they are not working because of a weak network, because of the network failure that happens. So network actually plays a critical role, which connects all your edge devices to your police stations, to your control rooms and so on, right? There are smart features available like video analytics, and I will show a video for that also. most of the city officials are asking for number plate recognition, and this is basically, to have a complete database of the vehicles entering the city, leaving the city, or basically if you want to detect the vehicle movement. And of course your response mechanism, which is critical. So this is how the architecture looks. Let me show you another video, which is how a control room looks. And since we have short of time, so I probably may hurry up here. So this is how the the console looks in a police control room, for example, right? Where I can actually plot entire city. Now I can see a red light coming in. So actually this is showing that alert or an incident has happened at particular location and it becomes red, right? Based on few clicks, I can actually go into finer details. Now what we see here is an example of airport, but this could be any city or any building or any campus, right? What we have on the left side is the different locations and the areas, right? So for me as an operator, it's becomes very simple, to just do the monitoring part. Now on the same screen, I am able to see a video. Now I want to see what happened half an hour back, because a live video probably is telling me what's happening now, but probably 15 minutes or 30 minutes before video will give me correct information. So I can see a recorded video as well. All this operations happen on a single screen and can be operated by a single person, and a very user-friendly function, right? What it does more is it can tell you the type of incident, it can tell you the intensity of the incident, it can be escalated if nobody has responded. So there's a probability there's an operator who is not there on his seat and the incident goes unattended. So it automatically can get escalated and so on. So these are some videos which shows about video analytics features, which is becoming a new requirement for any urban safety and security projects. And what the system does, and I'll show you some of these videos. So in this case, for example, if somebody is trespassing a perimeter, right, or a line, it gets automatically detected. The red line here actually is a virtual line which the people there cannot see, or the person there cannot see. It can be seen only by the operator who has created it virtually there, right? So anybody crosses that line probably can be detected, and it could be over the fence or under the fence, it doesn't matter, right? Similar example here is it is detecting traffic congestion. So if I want to check, what is the traffic condition of a particular road, I can get it and I can see here high, medium, low, which is changing as the density of cars changes. For example, if it remains high for a longer duration, that means either there is a huge traffic congestion or probably there is an accident which has happened. And we can use the same features for multiple things. This feature was probably talking about loitering, where if probably somebody, if it's a sensitive building and you will not expect people loitering around that building, right? So this feature can actually automatically detect. Similar ways, we have some 15-20 such similar examples which are available today, which can be used in Indian conditions as well. So most of this has been tested in Indian conditions to work perfectly. Right? This has actually been deployed at Navi Mumbai, right? And what it does is it records the number plate. Now most of the number plate recognition solutions have actually failed, especially in Indian condition, because we don't have a standardization of number plates. So what this solution does is it actually doesn't lose any data, and it converts the data as much as possible. So today, if I want to track a vehicle, or I want to put a list of hot listed vehicles which needs to be tracked when they enter the city or exit the city, right? This can be detected. In fact, Jharkhand checkposts are on the verge of deploying a similar solution for their requirements, basically. This is a live site in Navi Mumbai. This has been up and running for more than a year now. So the solution also gives you a lot of incident reports, which are basically important for best practices or improvising your solutions or deployments. Now let me just talk about Navi Mumbai because this is a live site and this is up and running, as I said. In Navi Mumbai, they have created a control room. You can see a video wall here. It's being manned by the police team. All the videos, which is cameras basically, which are installed at the entry exit. So the entire entry exit of Navi Mumbai is being covered. All the important traffic junctions are covered. A lot of important buildings are covered. Important public gardens and public areas have been covered. All that can be monitored at one single location. What they have also done is they have created zones in terms of police stations which has their own jurisdiction. So they can also monitor their own area, right, from a monitoring perspective. but the alert management or the response mechanism happens probably from one location. Since this is all running on internet, or rather I would say on a network, it is not bounded or limited. So it can, you can have this kind of control room at multiple locations or one location, depending on your RA. Right, and probably the last thing I would like to show is a small video of Navi Mumbai. This was a video which was actually shown as a inauguration video when the system was inaugurated. And they are showing actually videos. These are some bad videos, of course, from accidents and all this perspective, but how the solution helped them detect incidents and resolve them easily. So this particular case where the truck driver was actually found, found guilty initially, but later they realized that it was not actually the truck driver's mistake, it was the car mistake. Similarly, some theft incidents were detected using the similar solution. This is basically an additional tool for the police, right? It's not possible for the security team to be there everywhere. So camera becomes their additional eyes, right? Or the system helps them to resolve so many such cases. So similarly, this is basically about rash driving, and what you can also do is, the system also can, because it's got high definition camera, you can also get finer details like number plate or people sitting inside and so on. So you can see that because of the good picture quality, you can actually zoom in and get the number plates. Similarly, you can actually see people. So let me just rush through some of them. These are some of the some accidents which have been detected. So this is an example of a night vision, where even in the night probably you are able to detect cameras. So the messaging is basically technology today can help for a safe and secure city, and probably this is what we require as citizens of India, right? How to have a safe city, and this is basically because of so many incidents that are happening. And technology can play actually a big role to support government, to support police team, to enhance the current security solutions for India. That's all. Thank you so much.